calm over the area on Thursday, but there are more demonstrations planned for the weekend. World leaders are also paying more attention to the situation, especially with pictures showing a Chinese military build-up close to the border with Hong Kong. CNN's Paula Hancock spoke to Sky News earlier from the Chinese territory.
A calmer day when it comes to protests here in Hong Kong Thursday, but Wednesday night we did see more skirmishes on the streets. We saw several hundred protesters outside a police station in one of the neighbourhoods, police using tear gas to try and disperse those protesters. When it comes to the airport, things are back to normal there at this point, as we understand that people aren't allowed into the airport unless you have a passport and a boarding pass. Officials there want to make sure that it's only passengers that are able to be inside there at this point. Now, the interesting developments we do have at this point is on the other side of the border in mainland China, in Shenzhen. We have CNN teams on the ground there, and they say that they have seen and filmed uniformed members of the People's Armed Force. They see that there are many of them with riot gear, with batons, and when they spoke to some of those individuals, they said they were there for training. So certainly that's just over the border with Hong Kong. It will raise some concerns as to what Beijing will decide to do with these Hong Kong protests. But it is important to point out that there are always these kind of drills that go on, and that there is also a military presence in Hong Kong on a daily basis when it comes to the Chinese side. So certainly this is being watched very closely, most notably by some world leaders. We've heard from the US President Donald Trump as well. He has been tweeting about this. He tweeted as well, saying that he is concerned about what is happening, that he is saying that President Xi Jinping of China is a good man in a tough business. He believes that he can deal with what is happening in Hong Kong humanely. Also suggesting that they have a meeting talking about the ongoing trade spat between China and the US as well. We also had a response from the US State Department saying that they are deeply concerned. The UK and the European Union are also saying that they are concerned. So clearly the world is watching what is happening. Looking forward, what we are expecting is potentially a fairly busy weekend. There is expected to be a very large march on Sunday. At least that's what the organisers are hoping. It's being billed as a family march at this point. But of course, what we've seen in the past is some of these marches, once some of the peaceful protesters go home, there is another element that may stay a bit later, and there may be clashes with police. At this point, both sides blaming the other for inflaming the tensions. Elizabeth, back to you.